What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. So we're going to do it in the form of a tier list, but this is pretty much what you guys should kind of have as a priority overall on your accounts if you're in the mid game, and we're talking about, of course, the destiny transition of these heroes, because of gonna be hard, because even for free to play people, getting one full noble core is a long-term investment, and you want to make sure you're investing in the right hero. And you also have to consider when you're going to get to that point, how far you will be in the game, because when you start planning right now, noble core might be coming to you maybe by the end of the year or something like that. You might be much further in the game where you don't want to invest in a core now for a hero that is going to drop off, and we're going to talk about that here today, because there's a couple heroes that are really good in the early mid game, while there's other ones you might want to focus on if you're further in the game. So make sure you guys listen to every single one of these heroes that we talk about. Both myself and Rex kind of talked about these in depth the other night on the live stream. If you guys didn't check it out, make sure you guys do just that. Let's get going. So here's how we're gonna break it down. We're not doing like S tier, A tier, all these things. Pretty much this top column here, best bet, these are gonna be ones that you're probably not gonna have any issues with, no matter when you build them on your account, with the exception of maybe one we'll talk about when we get there. Good are ones that are more or less support heroes that are great to do destiny transition on. The good column is definitely gonna be like secondary heroes to get their destiny transition working on. Okay, are like they're just in the middle of the road, they're not amazing, they're not bad, not great. It's kind of like that fringe. Well, they can have some uses, and then there's stay away, where like their destiny transition makes no sense when paired with the hero itself. I'll talk about a couple of those because they just don't make sense. They're like support heroes, but they try to give them damaging abilities or something weird. It doesn't work out great, so that's where we're going to go. We're going to start with the oldest hero, and that is Swordflash Shia. Now, she has some promise. She does seem to get like a big bang going pretty much. Able to get like 3 rounds of impeccable flow, which basically means her active is always going to be hitting all enemies. She has some really good damaging nodes in the Destiny transition too. However, it's still Swordflash. She's still going to suffer quite a bit. However, if like a Drake meta comes back, that's good. However, Drake can't be used in anything in the Void campaign, whether it's the bosses or the waves, and that's really why she suffers, is because she doesn't have that defense down target that makes her so potent. So she's okay. You're not going to do amazing things with her, but she's not horrible. Her kit matches her playstyle, which is one of the nice little things. Now, talking about the good section, Scarlet Queen Halora. The good section's mainly for maybe your second or third destiny transition focus hero, because, well, you need the good supporters to go up in this new game mode, and she's one of the best. She actually can provide your team with quite a bit of healing, so keep that in mind. She can actually heal your team very much. She has the counterattack pings. She has the Royal Guard ability, giving all damage reduction dealt. She does a lot of amazing things on this hero. She can do amazing stuff. Probably one of the best supports. A good one, but mainly second or third target. Next up, we kind of have another one that falls in that category, Azrael the Dauntless. We've seen a resurgence of people using him. Even I've been using him, and well, his kit matches him very well. One thing you'll notice that's very similar with him and Doom Terminator Vulcan is they have a nice mix of offensive and defensive nodes in their Destiny transition trees. It can be very worthwhile to have him on your team, but again, not a first target, maybe a second, third, or even fourth target. Typically anything in the good column is going to be worthwhile, but not as your first one, so keep that in mind. Now, the first one we're putting in the best bet, I want to be very, very specific on what we're talking about here, and that's why I'm not going to put an actual image file for this tier list, because you need to listen to what we are saying. If you're on one of those mid-game accounts, you're pushing through chapter 2 into chapter 3 in the Void campaign, she might be a good bet, because I bet a lot of you already have at least a single core of Jarrah, so the investment to get her to a noble core, not as difficult as starting fresh on someone else. And well, this might push her into further abilities to do a lot, because very early on her Destiny transition, she gets additional chances to CC. She actually gets 2 more chances of 25% chance to either, I think it's, what is it, Petrify or Freeze, just the normal one, not like the Petrify, Rock Lock, or other freeze. So she has multiple types of CC as well. She could be good, but again, this is very much, I don't know if endgame players are going to need to consider this, and this is why this tier list is a little tricky, and why I said please listen. If you're on one of those mid-game accounts, you already have some cores for her, it probably will be a good idea to continue investing in her. Otherwise, not so much. Next one going down in the okay list, I think, is Fairy Queen Vesa. She might actually bump up into the good category here in a bit, but her whole entire Destiny transition tree is 100% support. And well, it just depends on how much support we do need, because she's just going to provide more shielding, more healing. As you guys might see in a video later today, that actually might be something we do need. However, her kit was quite disappointing compared to a lot of other heroes. I feel like she had one of the weaker Destiny trees coming out. I could be completely wrong. We're just gonna have to see how that actually plays out. The next one is probably one of the best ones here. Lord of Fear Aspen, probably the tippy top of the list. We're gonna try to put the highest in each category on the left side as well. Let me actually shift this down just a little bit because I'm cutting them off just a tiny bit. Lord of Fear Aspen's kit lets Lord of Fear Aspen do more Lord of Fear Aspen things. He is probably gonna be the best boss damage dealer in the entire game and continue on, because he has like 4 different nodes that just help him do even more damage. You're not going to go wrong if you have his core being built up, because not only that, he does give a lot of control immunity to his team with his core at Noble, and you're going to need a lot of control immunity on your team for a lot of different game modes. He's probably the best bet to go for on a hero, and especially if you really, really love Star Expedition, he is going to be the top dog next Star Expedition. I'm telling you that right now. First one going down in the stay away section, Thunderer Eos. She has some more like damage synergies and stuff in her Destiny tree, but like, just stay away from her. It doesn't look like she's going to provide anything, which is kind of sad. I don't like it. Another one going down there is Star Alchemist Holmes Young. Now, this hero right now is probably a bad investment. However, when we get to the point where we can take a tree pretty much to max right away, he might be probably one of the most powerful PvP heroes we ever see in the game. He has potential to be very, very broken once you can get your entire tree done all the way up to level 6. But right now, just stay away from him. Trust me, just stay away. Don't go near him. Another one I'm going to put in the not great category, or rather the first one, is Mystic Fairy Freya, and that's because, well, her whole entire tree gives her more damage capability and not much additional support capability, and you want her to be a supporter on your team. You don't build her for damage, you build her for support, and the tree doesn't help her do better supporting. So that's why, again, this is pretty much a synergy of there's normal skills combined with their Destiny transition tree. They don't synergize well, they're probably not going to get a very good score. Next up, Star Swordsman Mockman. I want to put him behind Lord of Fear Aspen. He is a very, very strong hero already. His kit does help him do more damage. However, his basic transition skill isn't that amazing. However, when you get him fully maxed out, he could potentially be one of the most broken heroes in the game. Just beware when we do see people getting to the full Destiny transition and the 6-star on them. He has potential to do the most damage and counterattacks you have ever seen in your life, because it's like whenever he gets hit, he might have a chance to just deal like 2,000 to 3,000% damage to everybody. Could be broken. We'll have to see. But overall, pretty solid in the beginning here as well. I don't think you can go wrong going for Star Swordsman Mockman. Lord Azrael. This one's interesting. I'm going to put Azrael down here. Overall, his kit is still really, really good. And he does more Azrael things. So if you're using him in a cheese type team, he just got cheesier and he just got better, especially when you can max him out. However, right now, not a good investment. He's interesting because like right now, if we're talking about like first priority, he's honestly one of the last. Like he's down here. But in the long term, he is going to be very strong, I believe. Keep an eye on him. These two heroes here have the potential to be meta-defining in PvP. We'll just have to see if in other game modes they can actually do stuff. I don't think this is going to be a surprise to anybody. The lowest on this list is going to be Blood Tide Queen Urania. I can't even remember her name because we don't use her. She gets damage abilities again, which she's a support hero. Really weird. We need testing before we can even tell you what to do with her. Just stay away. Our next one going up into the best bet is Doom Terminator Vulcan. He has a nice combination of both damaging abilities, shielding abilities, buffing abilities. He is a very well-rounded kit. And the best part is, all you need is his passive, like, at the end of round ability to give your entire team damage reduction and attack. You don't even need to get to his crazy high 18 layer ability that gives him bonus buffs. That's just like a side bonus. Everything in his kit is very solid. But I will say, just as a note, early game, I do think right now he's going to be the better early transition tree. Later game, Star Swordsman Mockman will overtake him, I do believe, in the extreme late game, having the tree all the way to level 6, all that fun stuff. So keep that in mind. Yeah. Next one I'm going to put is PDE. So, Phantom Defier Elena. Really solid kit. Depending on how she works, she might actually be able to give a Swordflash dodge ability to her entire team. Maybe even for multiple rounds. Honestly, I'm going to put her right behind Scarlet Queen Halora. Again, not one you want to do as your first, but everybody in the good category is a good solid second to fourth option here. I think she's going to be really strong overall. Keep that in mind. The next one here, I'm struggling with. Kind of struggling. I think I'm going to put him at the top of okay. Because, again, he's still a solid hero, but most of the things that he's getting from his Destiny transition are damage oriented. And again, you're not really building him to be a damage dealer on your team. You're wanting him to support, and he doesn't get too many good supporting abilities. Keep that in mind. His shielding is still 100% necessary. So having this hero on your team, yes, necessary. Having him Destiny transition levels and stuff, probably not. Another one going down in the not great category. Jester. Man, Jester's ability could have been meta defining. He could have actually given Aspen, Lord of Fear Aspen, a run for his money in Star Expedition. However, his abilities mainly work off of your allies using basic attacks, and in most game modes that we want to use him in, you're going to want to chain active abilities every round, which means his ability just doesn't even happen. He does have some good, side benefits. He might be strong in PvP with these two other heroes in the late game, but for now, just keep that in mind. And then the other one that we're going to put in the good, the last newest hero, Dgen. She's a really solid hero, and her tree just kind of helps her do more of that. She has a combination of support and damage. I don't know if I necessarily say she's better than Queen. It's a real toss-up. I'm going to put her there just because I'm a little partial to that. But they're both really great picks for probably your second one. So you're going to want to pick, like, if you're in a late game account, you're going to want to probably pick between these three heroes and then one of these two to be your supporters as your top two builds. And then you can branch out to some other ones in this tree as well to kind of help support all that fun stuff. So that's my opinion. This is kind of the rankings we got on our live stream with Rex as well. If you guys want to talk about it in the comments down below, definitely leave some feedback. I'd love to know if you guys are going for a different option, and I'd love to know how it works out for you as well. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hopefully it helps you guys out deciding what your priority is on your account. I'll see you guys next time.